Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got a great topic I think we want to talk about today. We're going to dig into ourselves a little bit today. We're going to dig deep into ourselves today. So strap on your seatbelt, get ready, because we are about to move some things. We're about to move some things today. They got this company called Three Men in a Truck. We're gonna move some things like three men in a truck today. My voice is getting a little better, so I thank God for that. But right now, I gotta say good morning to Captain Leonard. Good morning, Captain Leonard. How you doing this morning, sir?
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, Glow family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are about to kick this thing off. About to kick this thing off. And Leonard, oh man, hold on. I got something I gotta do.
No, I didn't watch your little crummy.
Hold on. I got something I gotta do because somebody told me yesterday. I was told yesterday. I want to tell everybody, if you just in case you missed the broadcast yesterday, they told me that my Pittsburgh Steelers was not gonna do what they did last night. They say, Raheem, if them Steelers don't win, you might not want to show up tomorrow. And I considered it. I said, look here, if my Steelers don't win, I might. The alarm might not go off in the morning. The alarm might not go off, or it might go off a little late. It might go off at 10 o'clock, and I might get up at 10. But I got home last night and turned the TV on and looked at the score, and my Steelers was losing 10-9. I said, oh man, they're losing. But I looked at my daughter, because my daughter loved the Steelers too. She said, oh, Daddy, we losing. I said, it ain't going to be long, baby. I said, it ain't going to be long. Have a seat right here and watch this. We sit there and watch that game, and what my Steelers do what my Steelers do. And today I wake up and I can proudly tell you that we are 1-0. Come on, Leonard. Give me some props now. Give me some props.
Y'all want to know? I didn't have no doubt y'all would win the game.
And look here, we can win a lot of them. We can win a lot of them.
Now that 9-7 is still out there for you.
Come on, come on now, Leonard. You don't believe that, do you?
That 9-7 is out there for you.
Hey, if we 9-7, y'all 9-7.
Okay, look at how many times we've been 9-7. Okay.
I put a post last night about my Pittsburgh Steelers on the sports network. I'm actually a member of a couple of sports groups, I guess you would call them. And man, they came at me, Leonard. They came at that, man. Y'all didn't play nobody but the Giants. Y'all didn't play nobody but the Giants, is what they said to me, right? And I told them the reality of the situation, Leonard. We played an NFL team.
It's still a team to beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We played an NFL team, and like I say, we don't make the schedule. We just look here. Whoever's on the schedule is who we play.
Everybody's trying to win.
Exactly.
Trying to win.
Hey, Leonard, we got another hater, man. We got another hater just called in. Giants is what they said to me, right? I told them, hold on. The reality of the situation. Got another hater just called in from Baltimore. This old hater from the Baltimore Ravens, he done called in, tried to tell me what my Steelers was going and what my Steelers was going to do and what my Steelers were not going to do. Now I wake up this morning 1-0. I wake up this morning 1-0, undefeated. Now Curtis from Baltimore, Charm City. I'll hear you, brother. What you got to say about yourself now?
Man, y'all played the little people, man.
Man, listen.
Man.
Like I was just saying,
come on, man.
We don't make the schedule.
Don't be a fan.
Listen.
Do me a favor. Don't be a fan. Be a coach.
Look at my
y'all played the little people.
My thing is this right here.
Y'all played the little people.
Listen, Kurt. Listen. I don't make the schedule. We played an NFL team that they put on our schedule, and we beat that team. We don't make the schedule.
Okay.
We don't make the schedule. We played an NFL team, a National Football League team. That has won the Super Bowl. They won, I think, 2 or 3 Super Bowls.
So you're going to reach back 10 years.
Hey,
you're going to reach back 10 years to find a Super Bowl. You played a team. You played a team that has a depleted offensive line.
Okay.
They come into the season depleted. Offensive line.
Kurt,
You played a team that the coaching staff don't know what to do with this nice running back they got.
Okay.
You played a team that's got a quarterback who is not comfortable at all in what he needs to do, when he needs to do it, and how he needs to do it.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Now,
but still,
when y'all play somebody that's actually, I'm gonna tell you, the Browns gonna give y'all a hard time. The Browns gonna give y'all a hard time. Go back and watch that game. I watched snippets of it because I was turning it off because they made it more about I ain't even gonna say what he is, but they made it more about him than they did about them winning the game. They made it more about him coming back off injury. So once I saw that, I was like, you know what? Okay, they're gonna make this all about Ben. This ain't about Ben, man. This ain't about Ben. When y'all play a team that can match up with y'all,
listen,
Kurt, I want to see what's going to happen.
All the stuff that you said,
I just don't think y'all got it to do it.
Okay, but listen,
do I believe that y'all can? Do I believe that y'all can make some things happen? I do, but I also know that when y'all bring y'all hind parts on down here to Charm City, the city ain't gonna be charming to y'all. I'm telling you, we're gonna tear y'all apart. I hope you know that.
Look at that remains.
You know
that remains to be seen. That remains to be seen. See, we could talk to our butt. We could talk to our butt, kick a field goal. That remains to be seen. But my thing is,
how many times y'all beat us last year? How many times y'all beat us last year?
Let's talk about history now. You see, you're gonna take one year and you're gonna make that the whole pie. Let's talk about the whole. How many times have y'all beat us? You know, they say,
we even.
Come on, man.
We almost
Never.
even.
Almost. We don't go from being even to almost even. Now it can't be both. Now somebody got to have a lead, or somebody got to be behind. When you're running the race, somebody gonna win the race. Somebody gonna come in second.
I think that game is even. I think it's even, bro.
Nah. Not
even
close. Not even
and
close.
We might be up by 2 games.
Oh, see, look here. I'm gonna tell you like my grandma said, lie don't care who tell it, long as it get told, and you just help that lie out a lot. A lie don't care who tell it, long as it get told. Nah, man, ain't no even. Man, we used to beat y'all like y'all like y'all was our little brother, man. We used to beat y'all like y'all was our little brother, man.
Hold on. You know what? Now I'm gonna be really white. Notice you used you used the word used to.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? You used to.
Yeah.
There's a big separation in used to and we beat y'all.
Okay, so, and only reason I said used to, only reason I said
play this bird, y'all ain't gonna be able to no billings. The steel is not going up when y'all come down and play this bird. You know why? Because it's gonna be too many birds sitting on the ledge. Okay?
Look here, they gonna be.
I can't wait to see y'all.
They're gonna be just like everybody else, spectators, man, and watching what we do to y'all. Spectators. That's all they're gonna be. Spectators, watching what we do to y'all.
Okay.
And, you gotta have an audience. You gotta have an audience. Somebody gotta tell the story, right?
Bring the little people.
Look here.
Keep playing
my thing is this right here. What happened is this. We played a team. We ain't got nothing to do with all the coach not doing this and not knowing how to handle their running back and the quarterback. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Only thing we do, the NFL put a schedule together of teams that we have to play, and we play those teams. We beat the team they put before us last night. Now bring some more. We still hungry. Bring some more. We still hungry. We ain't full yet. Bring some more. Bring some more. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know what? I'll give you that. He did say his prayer in the after game interview yesterday. All of a sudden he done had a come to Jesus moment. I guess we all have it.
Come on, Jesus, keep us winning. Come on, Jesus, keep us winning. But listen, my thing is right here. I want to get to this topic, man, because we got a lot of people that's tuning into this topic, and they want to see how we're gonna handle this thing. So I'm gonna ask y'all the question. Man. And the topic is this. We got a lot of background noise coming from somebody line. I don't know whose line that is. Okay, good deal. The topic is Curtis, I'm coming to you first. Curtis, are you strong enough? Are you strong enough to tell your weaknesses? Are you strong enough to talk about your weaknesses? Are you strong enough to display your weaknesses? What do you say to that?
Absolutely. Always have been. And that can be a gift and it can be a curse. You know what I mean? Like, some people, we live in a world, and I almost Well, it ain't even. I hate to say it, but we live in a world that truly believes in taking a person's weakness. We live in an exploitative world.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we living in a world that truly believe in taking a person's weakness and exploiting them.
Mm-hmm.
And it is my belief as a former counselor that when you really do the research and you really do the homework and you sit down and talk to folks, that's one of the reasons why folks are so scared to show their weakness.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of they scared of being vulnerable. It's because when you really, really look at it and look into it, they're scared of the backlash, or they're scared of the fallout.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared of how people are going to treat them once they lay their weakness out there. And it's shameful, man, because
Mm-hmm.
you got a lot of people that's going what I like to call unchecked.
Yeah.
You know, you thinking there's one thing wrong with them, and in reality, it's something totally different. And it's because their fear is, you know, it's going to be taken for granted, or they're going to be stepped over, stepped on, pushed under.
Mm-hmm.
So they just don't tell nobody. So they spend their lives hiding. And then when that thing, what's the word I'm kind of looking for? When that thing
Explodes.
boils to a head, yeah, when it explodes, man, it could come out on anybody, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, we grew up in the age of people going postal.
Yeah.
If you remember the age where it was every year you heard about somebody's post office that had a mass shooting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when you really do the research with these folk, man, these folk been hurting for years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that there's been a weakness there for years, but they never felt like they could actually have a conversation with anybody about that weakness.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been, even when I was a child, like I've always been one to lay it out there. Like, this is where I am. This is how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, there's times where I've been exploited. There's times where I've been taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you put a lot of good key points out there, man, because a lot of times, and most of the reasons a lot of people don't want to explore or expose their weaknesses is because people try to take advantage of them, and they've been hurt before, and no one likes that pain, man. No one likes that pain. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? Are you strong enough to expose, or you're strong enough to show your weakness?
Well, my weaknesses are exposed, pretty much. So I'm not preoccupied with the weakness part of it. It's just something that you can overcome.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be weak for a moment or weak in some things, but to say that you have a weakness from sometimes, it's not weakness at all. It's a desire that you have. It may not be a weakness at all. It may be just a desire that you have.
Mm-hmm.
It may be a weakness from someone else's point of view.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But a weakness is just that. One of my weaknesses is my health.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to constantly be involved with things as it pertains to my health. My other weakness is financial security.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things that I am working on shoring up. But you know, because people say they have weaknesses, sometimes I look at them a little bit cross-eyed.
Mm-hmm.
Because is your weakness something that you were doing deliberately? That's not a weakness. That's not a weakness.
Mm-hmm.
That's a desire that you have. Are there things that you just don't do well? Those may be weaknesses. Those things that you just don't do well. You know, you have a desire to do well, but for some reason you just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Those are weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So I always put that desire out there first. What's the desire?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, what's the desire?
And let me do this. I think I see Pete watching as well. Pete, if you're available, brother, give us a call. And the phone lines are open for anybody that want to be a part of the conversation. All you have to do is give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. We're asking the question today, are you strong enough to show your weakness? Are you strong enough to show your weakness? Are you willing to expose yourself of some of the shortcomings that you may have before other people? Or is that something that we like to hide and mask and just don't like to expose because of some of the things that we've spoken about this morning? Curtis, what's on your heart, brother?
And also, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Leonard. Go ahead, brother. Finish your thought.
Also, as we go along the conversation, we need to talk about this latest phenomenon with this exposing of weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
I have an issue with that, but I'm sure we'll get into it.
Exactly. Go ahead, Curtis. What's on your heart, brother? Curtis, you there?
Yeah, what was that Leonard said? The exposing of what?
Oh, he said.
Well, I have an issue with this need to expose everything. And as you were mentioning in your explanation in the beginning, exposure can be used to hurt you. So why would you expose everything to people in the first place?
Mm-hmm. I think Leonard, and I could be wrong, and I'm counting on Curtis to come from the counseling side, to correct me if I am wrong. But I think it takes a certain amount of strength to expose your weakness, and if you're able to do that, that's your first step. I think that's one of your first steps toward overcoming that weakness. Once you're able to put it out there and let people know that it does exist. Curtis, am I off base with that?
No, you kind of right there on point, but you got to also understand the psychological warfare of exposure.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
See, all of this exposure crap, right? And I call it crap only because I call it crap when it's being used inappropriately.
Right.
You got to understand something, man. A lot of this exposure stuff came about because there was an element of society that needed to know what was going on in Black and brown communities. I hate to make it racial, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, there became a push to tell me what's on your mind. Because, see, for a lot of years, folk have started catching on to the fact that, I don't need to tell these people what's going on in my mind, because every time I tell them, then they come up with a way to change the rule book.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta understand that, like I remember my grandma used to tell me growing up, "What's up, baby?" My grandma used to tell me growing up, right? She used to say, "Baby, you ever in a room of crowded people and you wonder who the smartest man in the room?" She used to say, "Find the quietest one."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Why you say that, Mom?" She said, "Because the quietest one is the one that's seeing everything that's going on."
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, Leonard kind of is right on point with his questioning and saying that, hey, with his statement and saying that, hey, some of this exposure that y'all talking about, and see, they cloaked it in, they would say the terminology is, oh, well, I want you to be real.
Mm-hmm.
Right? My question is, real, what is real and to whose standard?
Real what? Real hurt, because that's what people are gonna do. A lot of times you tell them certain things and they find a way. A lot of times people find a way to a backdoor way of using it against you sometime, Curtis. And what do you say to that?
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You just touched on what I mean. Being real for who?
Mm-hmm.
For who? For whose pleasure? Who's being entertained by me being real? Or how much of my realness is going to then be used against me later?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like if I decide to run for public office, I'm willing to bet you any amount of money without you giving up any of your audio feed. I'm willing to bet you that if I ran for public office, something that I've said on this show will be played in a commercial.
Mm-hmm.
This is what Mr. McNeil really thinks, and they're gonna soundbite it, and they're gonna bet and paw at certain parts of what I said.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then what they're going to do, they're going to beckon Paul to create this narrative of this is what Mr. McNeil really thinks.
Mm-hmm.
While all at the same time, that might not be what I really said.
Exactly.
So, you know, like I have to tell my kids sometimes, Raheem, okay, look, if you want to keep it real with you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not mandated to keep it real with nobody else but you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let them figure out if they want your realness or not. And once they show you if they want it or if they don't, that they honestly can accept it, then you continue. But if they can't honestly accept it, it's okay to cut that short.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Leonard, what and we touched on this just a little bit earlier, but what is a weakness, Leonard? What exactly is a weakness?
Well, I think, like I said, the weakness is perception.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm after you, for instance, and I'm looking for a weakness, you can guarantee once I find that weakness, I'm going to exploit it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, because that's something you may not see. You may just be ignorant. A lot of people out here just ignorant.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
And what we call a weakness, they don't perceive as a weakness. Some people don't perceive ignorance as a weakness.
Let me ask you this, Leonard. Let me ask you this: How much strength is it in a person that's trying to explore other people's weakness?
Say that again.
How much strength is in a person trying to explore other people's weakness? I mean, they do it all the time, business or whatever the case.
Well,
it happens all the time.
I think I understand what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to assess everyone I deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, I need to know who you are, what you're about, how can I depend on you, and those types of things.
Mm-hmm.
So your weakness will automatically come up, you know, and not to be too technical about it. Mm-hmm. I'm more interested in weaknesses when it becomes mission essential.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now I'm going to tell you when we're talking about exposure and things like that, because this culture is horrible with this.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
This young man, Andrew Gilliam.
Yeah.
Is hooked on this exposure thing. I know why he believes it's a good thing for him to do, but it's too late. But it's way too late.
Mm-hmm.
You were caught and exposed.
Yeah.
You didn't discuss this with anyone. You didn't say this was one of the things that you do or anything of that nature. And then you had this high profile job and position and aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And now you look like a complete indisciplined fool, unable to lead anyone. And now you're sitting up on TV and on TV programs exposing your sexual preference that you ain't got a handle on yet.
Mm-hmm.
So this exposure culture is very dangerous. Now, yes, should corruption be exposed? Of course, because it's negative.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some things that, one, you're seeing a lot of folks destroying themselves because they can't keep their mouths shut and they can't buckle down and discipline themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, say, for instance, I love the team aspect of like guys that are in sports and stuff like that. One of the things they work on is overcoming those weaknesses. They practice at them and things like that to get better. Every week they dedicate themselves to it. And, you know, we'll watch the game and see, look, they still exposed. They still weak on this side. They still weak on that side. Mm-hmm. You know, those are because one, you got to think about it. Folks are trying to beat them and defeat them.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to get yourself out here where you so easily defeated because you tell all your business.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about Gilliam for a second, because I saw the show yesterday that he was on with I can't remember her name, the young lady, and it appeared to me as though, much like you said, man, he said, I want to talk about it now. I want to discuss it now because they're taking this and they're turning it and then. No, hold on, brother. You didn't want to talk about it before they saw you on that floor laid down naked. You didn't want to talk about it. You didn't tell people that all the people that was supporting you, support and there for you. You never said anything to any one of them. And he was, honestly speaking, it was his option whether he wanted to or not. To be truthful to him and to be fair to him is his option whether he want to or not. But at the same time, don't be lack of a better term, Christian folks can throw them little Bibles at me, but don't be holier than thou now that you've been caught. You didn't do it because you wanted to. Because if you wanted it to be out there, if you wanted the public to know you and to treat you accordingly, you would have said something about it when you first saw this thing blowing up in regards to you becoming this big political figure, this big national figure. When you became that, you hold on, it's some things I need to talk to y'all about. But he didn't do that, Leonard. What do you say to that? And Curtis, I want to hear your heart as well, Curtis.
And so it's just that. It's not so much as what you were doing.
Mm-hmm.
It is how we were exposed.
Yes.
And now you're playing to this narrative that people, we see it all the time. Oh, now I want to talk about it. Oh, now I got a red table talk special. Mm-hmm. Now I got to do this. Now I got to do that. You know what? Keep your business to yourself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they're doing it because you can make money doing this.
Hey, right.
And this is this reality. Go ahead, Kurt.
Go ahead, Kurt.
I'm sorry. I gotta go in here and make these donuts. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Nothing he was doing, they didn't know about already.
Right.
That man was heavily vetted and all. Nothing he was doing, they didn't know about it already. That was remember psychological warfare. Psychological warfare says that my object is to control you. And when you get outside the fray, then I'm going to go with what I have to bring you back into the fold or bring you back under a certain level of control. They knew. If they didn't know, tell me how they knew exactly what hotel to go and get them at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you
exactly.
Like they knew all of those things. They knew everything that he was doing on the low. They knew it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't say nothing because they thought they was going to be able to control him. And then when it looked like he was going to win the most red of red states, oh no, we got to bring him back under control.
Yeah.
So we'll send them dogs at him. Yeah, man, these people so phony, man. But I love y'all, man. I got to go, man. Time to make the donuts.
There you go. Hey, love you too, brother. She was strong. She was strong. What's going on, young lady? How you doing this morning? Unmute that thing so we can hear you. There you go.
I am doing great. How about you?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Leonard, she always bring a bubbliness with her, man. She always bring that bubbliness with her. Every time she come, man. That's why I love my sister, man. She always have it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Hey, Mr. Leonard, I love you. And everybody that's on the Morning Glow line, hello, good morning, good morning, good morning.
I'm gonna have to use my mute button. Lord, my Jesus, I thought I wasn't gonna have to use it today. But sure, I'm asking a question, and I want to hear your heart on this. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. How are you strong enough? Are you strong enough to show your weakness? Are you strong enough to show your weakness? What do you say to that?
Oh, definitely. Let me tell you something. I tell everyone I come in contact to be strong is to know your weakness, because even in your weakness, there is strength. It's a strength in knowing that whatever weakness you have, be it alcohol, be it drugs, if you want to go that manner, it takes someone special to be able to say, you know what, I have a problem that I can't handle and I need help. So that's strength within itself. And if you're talking about any other thing, for as women rights or anything like that, then yeah, it takes a strong person to be able to say, hey, you know what, I'm weak. And then the Bible say, let the weak say that I am strong. So in order to be strong, people sometimes think that strength is that brawn strength that you just go in, half cocked without no fear. But sometimes deep inside you get butterflies. Sometimes deep
Mm-hmm.
inside you're not sure. Sometimes you go, you going forward and you're like, Lord, I don't know. But it's through that beauty of uncertainty that you gain the strength, and you are able to do what the things that you wouldn't even think that you were able to do. I'm
Mm-hmm.
quite sure that Malcolm and Martin were afraid or had fear or had some weakness that they had to overcome to be the great men that they are. And so this Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman and all these people that did great things for us. And I even go so far, I feel like Barack Obama has some weakness, but in his weakness, he showed strength.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, what exactly, Shira, what exactly is a weakness? What exactly is a weakness?
What is a weakness? That's like a shortcoming, I call it, or
Mhm.
something that is a downfall, a negative to
Mhm.
me, um, like something that you have to work for. So
Mhm.
to me, that's a weakness. Like a weakness can be drugs, a weakness can be women, a weakness can be popularity. With our kids today, um, peer pressure is only able to be done because of the weakness of wanting to be popular.
Mhm. Mhm. Exactly. I tell you, man. And let me ask you one more question before I go back to Leonard. And the phone lines are open. Give us a call, 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. We're asking the question, are you strong enough to show your weakness? Now, what do you think is more powerful? A person that's willing to show their weakness, or the person that takes advantage or explore their weakness, another person's weakness?
Say it again.
What do you think is more? I don't think I even want to say powerful. What do you think is more prevalent? A person that's actually able to show their weakness, or a person that explores another person's weakness?
So you're saying which is a person that exploits it or a person that shows it?
Yes.
I think the person that, when you show your weakness, it's like a vulnerability. You have to trust the person that
Hmm.
that you're showing that weakness to, and in
Hmm.
that trust, you trust that they won't take that weakness and exploit it.
Hmm.
I take for instance, um, uh, with the Panther.
Hmm.
No one knew of his sickness or the weakness that he had. You wouldn't know anything seeing him or, looking at him, but it's people that was in his inner circle who knew that he would feel vulnerable enough that he could share. And when he trusted them with that, no one betrayed that trust.
Hmm.
So I think it takes strong people in that instance not to show the weakness. I really believe that. And if you do show it, you have to make sure you show it around people that love and trust, because that's why we have so many exploits and magazines with actors and stuff, because someone told their deepest, darkest secret. They told that their what their weakness in. And even with the ministry, even with pastors and bishops, the reason why the church, I feel like people can't trust ministers is because their weaknesses are exploited. Although we're supposed to work on our weaknesses, but we're still human being at the same time, and we're going to make mistakes. But
Hmm.
those mistakes shouldn't be exploited like that.
Exactly. We got somebody that's on the phone line. I think it's Frank. Frank, are you with us?
I'm gonna call in, Raheem.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Now,
I love y'all.
love you as well, sis. Frank, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, we're asking the question this morning, man, and we're not gonna talk about the Detroit and the Steelers right now. We'll talk about that later on. We already had our moment with that, but Frank, are you strong enough to show your weaknesses?
Well, the thing about it is, I'm going to answer that question this way. Um, my weaknesses are going to reveal themselves whether I'm strong enough or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, I am not. I am not crazy enough to expose things to everybody. Everybody's not strong enough to carry my struggle. I have people that God has revealed to me that
walk with me, and they can bear some of the challenges that I have. And God has um, done things in their lives where they can be a blessing to me. And when we begin to reveal things to everybody, not only can we hurt that other person, because there's some people that just aren't strong enough, you'll hurt them spiritually. If it's somebody that you're mentoring and you reveal the wrong thing to them, you can hurt them. You'll hurt their walk. They'll give up because they'll feel like, man, if he's struggling with this, I don't stand a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not for you to reveal. The
Frank,
scripture says only. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but let me ask you this: a lot of times, some of the time, that the people that we look at as being very, very strong are actually weak within themselves as well. It's just like everybody else. They just have a better way of masking it and hiding it and concealing it. And so when a person looking at this person and say, well, if it broke him down, look what it's going to do to me. Well, he wasn't as weak, or she wasn't as wasn't as strong, or she wasn't as strong as you thought they were. It just took the right element to break that armor and to break them down and to pierce into them. What do you say to that?
Well, a lot of times, Raheem, we speak in absolutes.
Mm-hmm.
For something to hit you hard doesn't make you weak.
Mm-hmm.
For something to catch you off guard, it doesn't make you weak. Mm-hmm. You can be weak in a moment, and that could be the very thing that actually strengthens you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have to go through some things in order to develop the muscles that we need to have the strength that we're going to eventually have. If you've ever taken somebody into the gym, which I have many a time, people that say, "Hey, man, I want to train." Okay, the thing that happens, the thing that you encounter initially is their weakness.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to train them and to develop certain things. And what you're going to find out is, okay, well, their core might be strong, their upper body might be strong, but they don't have any legs. Most people don't work legs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you begin to work their legs, and they realize, wow, man, I didn't realize that, that my legs were this weak. But they don't have to stay that way. You're just weak in the moment. You're not strong in that area of your development.
Mm-hmm.
But if you keep at it, that can be I hated working legs, but now I love working legs.
Mm-hmm.
That can be one of your strengths. But sometimes we all have areas in our lives that aren't our strengths.
Yes.
But we take that word weakness, man, and we run with it, and we take it as there's areas that my wife that she is absolutely stronger than me in.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? I mean, I let her. Now, hear me when I just use that word let. What happens is, in a good relationship, is that as her partner, is that I don't interfere with that. So she flows in that strength, and it benefits our household.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? We putting a lot out there, man, and we're talking about the weaknesses and the strengths, and what is the major divide? What is the gap between a strength and a weakness, Leonard?
I like what Frank said. You're weak. If you're really weak in something, it can be exposed. Like
Mm-hmm.
he gave an excellent example.
Mm-hmm.
You may start with him and be weak.
Mm-hmm.
But because of what he does, he'll assess that one and come up with a plan. Boom. You'll get better immediately once you start strengthening yourself. I was working, I wish Kurt was still on the line. I was working on this theory and researching something related to what I'm calling victimization exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
It's become far too popular to where people rather exploit their weaknesses than strengthen them.
Mm-hmm.
Because so many people are being very successful at this, what we call exposure.
Mm-hmm.
To where, and Frank hit on it, of course, we know, Frank said some things about mentoring and things of that nature. Well, what I see has happened is folks have reveled in their weaknesses till they've become okay.
Mm-hmm.
You run your mouth too much.
Mm-hmm.
Now somebody paying you to do it. So how is that gonna make you better?
Mm.
You were just cheating in the dark. Now you're cheating in the light. Come on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So remember when I talked to you before, there's a difference between weakness and desire.
Mm-hmm.
You may call it somebody's weakness, but they don't. It's their desire to do a certain thing. It may or may not be a weakness to them. So we have to really, make sure that we understand a weakness is something that is evident. If anyone assesses you for a particular duty or purpose, they may find you lack a certain skill here or there.
Mm-hmm.
But you can strengthen that by gaining that skill. So some people with what you call a weakness, they holding on to it for another reason, but it's not weakness.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
Chasing women ain't a weakness for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They just love to chase women.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what we're saying here, Leonard, is it kind of goes back to your perspective of it, of the whole thing, and how you view it.
Don't use it as a crutch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't use it as a crutch. That's where it becomes a problem, when it becomes a crutch.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't want, for some reason, like one people say, that's not that brother's weakness at all. That's who he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
That's his behavior.
Mm.
So we should be different, because see, a lot of folks will sit there and try to gain pity off of their weakness. Mm-hmm. Or they get attention from their weakness. So we have to make sure that, one, we're always trying to strengthen. I don't know if there's anything that encourages someone to be weak. I don't think the two go together.
No.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know. I didn't think the two really go together very well.
Mm-hmm.
But we should be always, if you have a weakness, it should be something that you want to strengthen. When you say, okay, this is my weakness, for what purpose did you share that information?
Mm-hmm.
I know one woman who was very just off-putting, right? And every time she would meet me, or every time I was having a forum or event discussing things in the community, her lead-in line seemed to always be, because I was raped.
Mm.
And it just never, I could never understand why she felt it was so necessary to tell everyone she met that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that her weakness?
It's I kind of leaned back on what you said, and when you started this thing about her using that as a crutch, or and I'm trying to be real careful here, because I don't want to seem insensitive at all. But if a person is using it every time, is it a simple?
Would that be my weakness right here? Would that be one of my weaknesses, that I'm insensitive?
It could be. It could.
Right.
It could
exactly.
be. Yeah. It could be.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But see, But my thing is it if a person is using something all the time, could it be a pity card? It could be something like a pity card, is it? And
hey, Raheem, before y'all move away from that, can I touch that real quick?
Absolutely, go ahead.
I don't think that if you identify someone allowing something to happen to them to continue to defeat them, I don't think that that's being insensitive. I honestly believe that you see it for what it is, as a crutch. And you're literally saying to them, okay, stop that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I heard it the first time. I heard it the first time you told these 10 people.
Yes.
But okay, my pastor used to say, if I hit you in your jaw, knock you down, that was on me. But if I come back a week later and you still laying there, now that's on you. At some point, you got to get up.
Exactly.
And you know, okay, I just want to touch on that because I don't think that's being insensitive. A lot of times people think that when you hinder somebody and allow them to lay in something, you're being their friend. I see it just the opposite. If you're my friend, tell me, dude, get up.
Yeah.
And thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank, for that, because that's what makes my best friend. He's not gonna let me continue to return to my vomit.
Wallow in your sorrow.
No, he's not gonna do it because he's my friend.
Yeah.
And I can trust Frank. I don't know him personally, but listen to him on the radio and hearing Rashid talk about him, and that brother will help you. And plus his training with strength training and all that, he's not gonna let you continue to do that. He's gonna have to say, if I can help you strengthen yourself, I will do that.
Yeah.
And see, that's the type of thing that we need with people. Yes, I know this happened. Yes, I know this affected you, but this is how we gonna get it better. This is how we gonna strengthen it. This is how we gonna make something valuable out of it, as opposed to using it to keep from healing, to keep from getting better.
That's good.
We're not gonna look at this weakness as if it's property.
Come on. That's good.
And that's what I like the way Frank brought that out. And see, you said because I had to ask you, would that be a weakness? See, because to me, it's not. Exactly as Frank said. It's not about me being insensitive. It's me helping you recognize this and strengthening this issue.
Exactly. That's good. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, I'm out here walking. I'm gonna get on here for a second before I get too deep into it. How everybody doing?
Hey, doing good.
All right, brother. How are you?
We're asking the question.
I can't complain.
We're asking the question, Rico. Are you strong enough to show your weakness? What do you say to that?
Well, I guess that would depend on the person. Me personally, I am strong enough to show certain weaknesses, but not weaknesses that I feel like somebody may be able to use as an opportunity to manipulate me or use against me. If it's like we are all works in progress, you know. So you have some people that will tell you certain flaws or weaknesses that they have, but they won't tell you everything. You know, I don't know a pedophile or a person that thought about being a pedophile went to anybody before they did the act and told them, hey, I got a weakness. I'm looking at children. I'm looking at little boys. You know, they keep it to themselves. So, you know, they will let you know certain flaws, but a narcissist won't. A narcissist probably won't tell you he has any flaws. Everything they do is perfect and better than everybody else. But I know I heard Leonard say earlier that some of them are desires. And so, you know, I had to think about that, because the way I had looked at it is that a weakness is any negative or action or behavior that can be utilized against you for a sour consequence, you know. And so that's, you know, sometimes it might just be a desire, but depending on the platform you're using or what you're trying to achieve, it can also be used as a weakness or a flaw for somebody to target, like with Andrew Gillum. You know, his desire was men and women. And somebody like Kurt said, somebody knew, definitely somebody knew about it. They didn't know they had suspicion, but somebody knew.
Yeah.
But at that point in time, he might not have looked at it as a weakness, but it ended up being a weakness for what he was trying to do, because as a public figure, you can't be trusted if your own wife can't trust you with your truth of who you are. So that still ended up being a weakness. So I think any action or behavior that you are committed that can ultimately be used against you, I believe that is a weakness.
That's good. Hold right there for a second. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Charity. I'm calling from South Carolina.
Hey, Charity, how you doing this morning?
I'm okay. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. We're asking the question, Charity. Are you strong enough to show your weakness? What do you say to that?
I'm not. I don't know. I'm not strong enough. I just don't feel like someone needs to know my weakness.
Mm-hmm.
That's my personal opinion. I mean, if I'm that close to someone or I'm that in tune with someone, they will pick up on what my weakness is. I am not going to parade it around.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Why would I do that?
Okay, but let me ask you this: how do you, Charity? And this is just you answered the way from where you are, but how do you get over that weakness if you're not willing to expose it or exercise it in some kind of way? How do you get over it?
That's a good question. I haven't got to that bridge yet, so I ain't thought about crossing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
I just feel like I don't like to expose my weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like when a person knows your weakness down, they know how to get at you, if you will.
Okay.
So therefore, I'm not parading my weaknesses around.
And that's good. I like that, because you're absolutely right. A lot of time, if you expose your weakness to the wrong person, they're going to find a way to turn around and backdoor you, and use that weakness against you. But go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I remember. I clearly remember when I was in high school. I was on the basketball team. Like, I wasn't the best basketball player. I was a strong forward. So I got a strong. I got all these other people on the team. But me and my friends, we were very picky-fied, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we would go to these schools, what we would do is pick at them, get them weak, and knock them off their game.
Mm-hmm.
So they so discombobulated in trying to do something back to us, they would get put out the game, and we would win the game. Because I done found their weaknesses. I done found the ones that I could pick out, which were probably the strongest players on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So I would find that, you know what I'm saying, we could pick and nitpick and do little stuff like tap them when we run by and stuff like that. The coaches didn't see that, but they felt it. So then they screaming at us like they want to fight on the court, and the referees and everybody looking like, well, my God, what is wrong with this child? Put her out the game, and we sitting there knowing what we did the whole time. See, I learned that we found their weaknesses, and we antagonized that, and we got them put out the game, and we would win the game.
Okay.
And they were the better team. That's crazy, but it happened. I was like 15 years old. I will never forget that.
But let me ask you this: if there's a weakness that you know of, that you have, is there anyone in your life right now that you can go to and won't try to manipulate that weakness, and you can talk to them about it? Is there anyone in your life?
No.
Wow.
I'm not going. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I don't even want to be that vulnerable to anybody. To be honest with you, I don't want that.
Okay. Let me do this, and Donna just joined us. We're gonna go to Donna in just 1 second. But Frank, let me ask you this question: what are you hearing right now? And Lynn, I want to get your take on it as well. I mean, Frank, are you there? Frank, are you there? Then what do you say?
Hello.
Yes.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now, what you ask me? Did you say what am I hearing?
Yeah. What did you hear? Because Charity, great sister, man. I love that sister. She's actually out of South Carolina. But to be in a situation where and I understand she's protecting herself, and everything she said is her way of protecting herself. So you can't nobody tell her that she's wrong in that, because she's protecting her. But to not have anybody that you could turn to and tell your weakness to, is that a good place?
Well, I'm gonna say this. Shame on us. Because by the time a person expresses that, it means that people had opportunities and they let her down over and over again. That's unfortunate that so many people drop the ball where she would feel like she can't trust people with things that are close to her. But my thing is You know, this is a 2-hour show right here. But the thing is that it's almost like dating. Is that you when you're dating, you have to evaluate people. And when you're evaluating people, then you will find out you can test people with little things. You know, give them little things, see if they can hold them. And then prayerfully that person will show up, because it's hard not to have anyone that you can go to and kind of get some things off of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, take some weight off of you. When you carry the load of every day by yourself all the time, it's difficult, man. Because we all need somebody.
Exactly.
We all need, you know, we all need somebody. So we just need to be in prayer that person reveals themselves to her, and that person doesn't once again let her down.
Exactly. Let me do this. I'm going to go to Leonard, but we have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Tina from Atlanta.
Hey, Tina, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, doing good. Glad to have you, sister. We asking a question. Are you strong enough to expose your weaknesses? Are you strong enough to show your weaknesses? What do you say to that?
No.
Wow. Wow.
Because once you show your weakness, that's what people always remember. They forget the strength after that. And I'm too strong to show that. So if I show you that I can be weak, I feel like you may use that against me later on. So I stay strong in face value.
But we all have a moment where we have to lean and turn to somebody to help us through certain situations. Is that a way of showing weakness, or is that just you asking for help? What do you say that is, Tina?
That can be a sign as well. And a lot of times I don't even do that. I'll figure it out. Because again, it shows weakness, and that moment can last longer than that moment if somebody try to, throw that back at you. Oh, she needed me, or she's this or she's that. No, I'd just rather figure it out myself than to show weakness.
Okay. Hold on for a second. Mute your line for me. Mute your line for me. Got a little background noise, and I'm gonna come right back to you. I want to go to Donald right now. Good morning, Donald. How you doing, sir?
Doing pretty good. Good morning, everyone.
Donald, let me ask you this question, man. Why do we have, and this is both male and female, because I'm glad of the panel that we have, the mixture that we have this morning. Why do we have such a phobia when it comes to showing our fears? I mean, our weaknesses. I'm sorry, our weaknesses.
Yes, sir. I guess both of them might be the same thing. Sabotage. We've sabotaged each other so many times that nobody trusts nobody. You can confess your faults one to another. I hate to say it like that, but the church don't do that no more. Because they don't even trust the church. Because everybody running their mouth. There's no family and secret devotion. I think some in our covenant that we used to have on the wall, it says maintain family and secret devotion. Scratch that out, because we tell everything we know. So it depends on the person. Me, I know how to. I'm just saying, it's just me. I know how to get you off me. So if I'm at a weak moment, yeah, I can deal with that. If it's exposed, or if it's known that I have a weak point, yeah. But when you come, depends on how you come. I know how to get you off me. Yeah, I'm sure. I would say I'm strong enough to do it, because some people they say, okay, my meekness is a weakness. No, it's just part of who I am. And sometimes we got to realize that he won't put more on you than you can bear. So if you're going through, or you have something that's going on in your life that some say that it might be a weakness, Well, it may be something that will, if you lean on him, it causes you to be strong. Matter of fact, some people are stronger than they realize, because the difference in having weaknesses is some people can't take nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And some people have been put purposely for whatever reason, put burdens. Take like Job.
Mm-hmm.
You take what he went through, he could take it.
Yes.
That's why he was able to go through it, not stay in it.
Come on.
And when his friends came and they just looked at him, they didn't say nothing. Can you imagine somebody just seeing you go through? And that's what we do as the church. We see people go through and we just look. And when we do open our mouth, we start criticizing, just like they did Job. He must have did this. That's why he's going through.
Exactly. Hey, appreciate you calling back in, Leonard, man. You know the system, we got a little too heavy for the system, brother. It shut us down.
Okay.
Yeah, it got a little heavy for it. But go ahead, Donald. Finish your thought, brother.
No, but you know, I heard I don't know who it was referring to sports. And when I was in high school, there was this guy, he was about 6'2", 6'3", and he was huge. And I was terrified of him. You know, I used to run the mile relay and the 1600 meter relay and the quarter, but I was scared of this dude. I got to college. Guess who was anchoring the mile relay with me? Him. But we was indoors.
Okay.
So check this out now. Taller and probably faster than I was.
Okay.
But the weakness that he had, that maybe I had a weakness too. He was taller and faster, but he couldn't run the curves. So what I had to do is beat him in the curve. And I'm gonna use that as a kind of, I don't know if that's a metaphor, but sometimes we got to beat the enemy in the curve. When life go turning on you.
Come on.
When you got to do your best. We like to run straightaways. We like to, when we got money in our pocket, when we got everything going on good, but we like to shit. But the weakness is when we go through the curves.
Come on. That's good. Frank, you back with us?
Yes, sir. I don't know what happened. The
person you were trying to reach has voicemail box.
No, man. No. It was the whole system went down, brother. The whole system, the whole system crashed on us, and lost everybody, man. I came back and luckily Donald was still talking when I came back home, man. He carried the ship for us, man. He carried the ship, man.
Donald.
Yes, sir.
That's Donald. That's what Donald does.
Man, look here. I came back on. I said, man, I hope Donald's still talking. I hope he's still talking. And he was still explaining, man. I said, man, that's my brother right there. Look at him, man.
You tell me I was talking to myself, man.
Yes,
you trust Donald.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. But what's on your heart, man? You know, and we have this phobia, man. We have a lot of time. We have this phobia when it comes to exposing our weaknesses. Why is that? How are we gonna get help?
I've said this before, but I want to say it again because I think it's that important. One of my struggles as a young man was women. I was a whoremonger. And I just chased women. That's what I did. And the fruit of that is what we're hearing today, where you have a lot of women that don't trust people because of lies that have been told to them and how they've been treated. And see, sometimes the thing that we don't realize is sometimes we will get delivered from something and we'll stop doing something and think the effects
Reach
of
the
what we've
voicemail
done.
box of 803-760.
Okay, I'm trying
like right now, I'm trying to find some forgiveness for you right here. I'm praying right now, even as we speak.
Don't let it be a weakness, brother. You can find it. Don't let it be a weakness.
I just said I don't want it to be a weakness. But the thing that we have to realize is the things that we do to people can impact them for a lifetime. And we have to teach that to our children. We have to teach it to them. And we also have to teach them how to overcome hurts. You know, how to overcome them, how to trust again. And it's not easy. That's not an easy thing. It's just not easy. And sometimes we have to be so trusting that it allows people to trust other people. So,
but see that is a heck of a bridge to cross right there, though, Frank. Getting people to trust each other, man. That's a heck of a bridge to have to cross. And I pray that we all can get there. But Leonard, how hard is it to cross that bridge, Leonard?
I mean, it really depends on the type of people you are. People who have an impression of me, once they meet me, they realize that I'm the easiest person in the world to get along with. We'll never have a problem. My ego is never an issue with anybody because I immediately humble myself at all times, so I don't have to worry about it.
Good deal.
Okay. So when we're talking about I am not a person that supports the narrative that this sudden need to expose your weaknesses and everything is important to me. If that's your weakness, go somewhere and get stronger. But do understand, if you come to battle, you will be defeated. That's the only reason why I believe you should be exposing yourself in the first place, is to get better, not just for somebody to hear it.
Come on.
I don't want to sit around and talk about why you can't do A, B, C, and D. You don't want to do it, so that's why you're not doing it. So it's not an issue for me about, I just can't. No, you don't want to.
And there's a difference. There's a huge difference.
And a lot of people, I used to always tell folks, how did you do this? It's very simple. I took a simple concept of saying no. A simple concept in theory and the scripture that says abstain from the appearances of evil, and applied it to the majority of things in my life. I'm not going to surround myself around people that can't get their act together. I'm not going to surround myself around people who constantly fail. I'm not going to do it because it doesn't help me at all.
Okay, good deal.
There's no benefit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me go to back to the phone line. We got another caller. Bishop. I think that's Bishop. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I'm wonderfully blessed.
We're asking a question. Are you strong enough, Bishop? Are you strong enough to show your weakness?
Yes, I am strong enough to show my weakness, but I won't.
Why not?
And the reason I is because people will then judge you or think they can take advantage of you. It's okay to go behind closed doors and cry about something, but to cry in the presence of someone, unless the Spirit is moving on you and you're in a religious service or, maybe the death, and that's fine. It falls under different customs. But at the end of the day, if you begin to show weakness to your enemy, and you never know who your enemy is, your enemy can be the person that you consider to be your best friend, and he knows your vulnerableness, he will try to take advantage of you. And hindsight, it's okay to be human. It's okay to be weak or feel a certain way about certain things, but don't be so quick to show it to other individuals. Because they promise, they say you weak, you ain't strong, and moving forward down the road, they'll turn around and come back and try to rend you with it or take advantage of you.
That's good. We're actually covering a lot this morning, man, and I'm loving this. I want to go back to Charity. Charity, what's on your heart? Because I know you said a lot like the gentleman that said that you just don't want to show your weaknesses. You just don't want to expose that. So how do we cross that bridge and get better or get the help that we may need?
I mean, I'm not going to say that I can't. I just don't. I don't want to. Like the man said prior to the man that just spoke. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I can't and I'm at a bridge that I just don't know how to express myself and I need to go to counseling and all this. No, that's not the problem at all. I know what I can if I wanted to. I don't want to. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel the need to do it. So I'm not going to do it. I don't have to sit down like, you know what I'm saying, with Dr. Phil, and he need to tell me what I need to do A through Z, because I know what I need to do. I just choose not to do it. So there is a difference. And I will say this too. And okay, so you got to look at the world like my mom always say, y'all say everything old fashioned. That's not. I don't be saying that to her to say it like that. I'm just trying to tell her like, Mama, the world has changed. Like when my kids in high school and stuff, like well, hell, elementary school or whatever. We live in Lexington. My mom is from Batesburg, Leesville, which is in the country of South Carolina, in the country. You feel me?
Oh,
so
I know about that area.
iPads. You been there before?
Man, I used to fish. That's why I used to do fishing. I used to go down there and go fishing all the time in Batesburg. Yeah, I know about that area very well.
See, that's okay. So that's where I'm originally from. But I moved on up and I moved to Lexington, which the population in Lexington, South Carolina, is like 95% Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? So my kids, they were more advanced than my cousins and my cousins' kids and stuff like that. So my kids, like in the 3rd, 4th grade, they was having iPads and all this stuff. My mom didn't understand. She's like, why they always playing on these things? They need to be doing some homework. I'm like, Mom, that is homework. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so times have changed. Saying that to say, when I was little, you were taught if something was going on with you and you couldn't go to someone in your family, you go to the preacher, the teacher, and the police. I wouldn't send my child to them 3 of them right now. I wouldn't. You see what I'm saying? The times have changed. We was taught, and I'm an 80s baby. We was taught to go teacher, preacher, and the police. If anything going on with you, you go to them. Now y'all know how this world has changed. If a child goes to one of those people with a weakness, they probably go ahead and add on to it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how crazy the world has gotten.
Now, hold on. Now, you said preacher, teacher, or police. You won't take them to neither one of them. Good Lord.
Heck no.
Donald Tucson. What?
So, like,
hold on. We got another call. Let me go to the call. I don't want to lose the caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This is Annie from Mississippi.
Annie. Good morning, Annie. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, doing good. And we're asking the question, are you strong enough to show your weakness? What do you say to that?
Ooh, that's a good one. I am strong enough to show my weaknesses, but I just have to be careful about who I show it in front of. And because I remember a few years ago, I gave my testimony in church, and I remember I felt so good about saying and telling people how good God has been to me and what He delivered me from, and all those different things. But I remember that people were, especially the pastor, he preached a sermon on that, like, wasn't even long after that. I wasn't saying it for him to go on and on. I said it because I am overjoyed at how God delivered me. And so I began to wonder, after I heard him minister about that, was it a good idea to testify? I have to be very careful about what I say and who's able to handle it. Everybody can handle your testimony. Everybody cannot handle, you may think they can, but they can't handle it.
Exactly.
So my answer would be, I am strong enough to show my weaknesses, but I've got to be mindful who I say it in front of.
Okay, let me ask you this here, Annie. How do you know? How does a person pass the test in regards to whether you can actually divulge that information to them or not.
I didn't understand what you were saying. Say it again.
How does a person pass the test where you could trust them enough to share your weakness or not?
In my world, you pass that test when I tell you things and you don't expound on it forever. Because right now I have a wall up, and many of us we have a wall. My wall comes from the world, the pain, the betrayal, all these different things that I've had to deal with in my 54 years on this earth. Mm-hmm. My wall came from that. So if you get past that wall, I trust you. Just recently, I had to, I don't know, I had to go back and reevaluate my friendship with another female, how for about 20-something years, and what God had revealed to me. And I'm like, she got past my wall, but she just, I don't know. She manipulation, I would say. So when you're dealing with people like that and hurt, and you have that wall there, and this person may get you this time, but the next person won't be so lucky. Mm-hmm. So for me to trust you, and for me to reveal some things about me to you and show you my weaknesses, I've got to be very, very trusting in you. But that's hard to find right now. That is very hard to find, even in your bloodline. Sometimes you can't tell everybody everything.
Yes.
People can't handle the things you've been through. People cannot handle what God has done for you. People can't handle that. Mm-hmm. So, in my real world, just me, myself, and I, and this great big wall. So,
wow.
Hey.
Wow. See, Donald, and that's the thing I wanted to talk about. So far too often we live in that place where it's just us, man, and I don't know how happy of a spot, and not talking about anybody, but I don't know how happy of a spot that could be when you're living so by yourself, man, and can't trust anybody. What does one do, Donald?
Trust is for God, man. Trust is for God. I don't trust. I'm sorry to say, but it's just me. Mm-hmm. I've come to that I don't trust nobody. Period. Now that's a dangerous place to be.
It is. It is very.
And listen at this. What makes it worse? In the household of faith. Mm-hmm. So here's a bunch of people, all of us that have just talked. Most of us, because this is a Christian broadcast, has already admitted to the fact that we can't confide in nobody. Here's somebody said, I don't forgot what the three people are: the pastor, the police, and one other person.
The preacher, the teacher, and the police.
And here I think it must have been Annie or somebody say, not Annie, but anyway, they say I wouldn't go to neither one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So guess what? Guess me neither.
Wow.
Because here's the thing, and some
Donald, how sad is that, brother?
Very sad, because when you hear a person give a testimony in the church or have a private conversation in the office, then next Sunday that's the sermon. And then the Lord revealed something to me. No, you telling folks business.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a bad place to be, because again, we supposed to be able to confess our faults one to another, because this church is a hospital, supposed to be.
Yes, absolutely.
But sanctimonious folks, I don't have time for them.
Wow. Bishop, what's on your heart? Frank, coming to you next. Bishop, what's on your heart?
Man, I was listening to Donald, and I have to agree with him 100% when the house of God is supposed to be a place where we can come and confess our faults without being judged. But like I said, and then he said he doesn't trust anyone. what comes up in the back of my mind, okay, if you can't trust anyone, what if someone says that? And more than likely they will say the same thing about him. But again, I have to agree with him, because the people that you think you can trust in are the ones who hurt you the most. Mm-hmm. When they learn your weaknesses or what you've done, or they know where your vulnerableness is, they begin to broadcast that. There's an old song, Friends, how many of us have them? Mm-hmm. And then think about another one, backstabbers.
Yes, sir.
So this is why you want to be careful what you do. Mm-hmm. And how you reveal yourself. If you expose yourself, it can be taken or can be misconstrued. And I can speak firsthand. I shared something with the world, and then the people turned around and they tried to come back and rend me with it without even understanding or knowing. So what did I do? I showed where I was vulnerable or where I was weak. And instead of them saying, "Oh man, I'm here for you, whatever you need, I'm here to help you, I'm here to embrace you," mm-hmm. They then began to back up. They began to criticize, talk about me even more. Mm. And I'm like, wow. And I thought you were my friend. Mm-hmm. They saw the weakness and they catapulted, or they took advantage of it, and then they moved against me. Mm. Mm. So I agree with Tom.
Wow. Frank, what's on your heart, brother?
No. This is a beautiful place. Mm-hmm. And I want to go to David, who was shepherding sheep. and while he was out there with the sheep, he had to defend them against the lion, against the wolf. You know, he had to fight off predators. Mm-hmm. A friend is a powerful weapon. But the most powerful thing out of that whole encounter with David, and with Goliath, is that when they offered him a different weapon, and he said, "No, I'll use this rock and this slingshot." Mm-hmm. And why did he say that? He said, because it has been proven, I have taken these weapons to war, and they've been proven. Mm-hmm. You have to take things to battle and let them prove themselves. Okay, so now, and I'm going to expose Frank, because that's my business. I can expose me whenever I feel like exposing me. Mm-hmm. I live in Michigan, right? I live in Michigan. I have 5 kids, 4 boys and 1 girl. My daughter was in Atlanta trying to build a life. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it got to a point where, you know, I called Daddy so much. I'm just gonna do this on my own. And she found herself in a position where, with my grandkids, she didn't have any food. Okay,
don't do it.
So she called me. She called her father.
Don't do it,
Daddy.
Don't do it.
Quiet, man. Quiet down.
Don't do it.
She called her daddy, and she said, "Daddy, I'm so sorry, and I know you're gonna get mad at me, but we don't have any food. I have to leave to go to work right now. And the kids are here with the sitter, and you can't even send me any money." Because my first thing was, "Oh, so you don't worry about that. I'll send you the money right now." She said, "No, I have to leave and go to work right now, or I'm gonna lose my job." Okay, I can't drive to Atlanta. I mean, I can. It's gonna take 11 hours, but I can't drive to Atlanta now. So what's the solution? I had to lean on a friend. I called Raheem. I said, "Hey man, look, this is the story. I need you to take some food to my daughter's house." He said, "Where she live?" Took her the food. Okay. I dealt with that situation later, but it needed to be dealt with right away. He never exposed that. He's never talked about it. He's never brought it up. So now in my life, he's proven that I can take him to battle. But I have people like that in my life that will do things like that, that I will do things like that, and I won't even think about exposing them. And the thing about it is, sometimes we have to be a little vulnerable because somebody else may need a relationship. Somebody else may need a relationship that you have. And have people let me down? And have people talked about me before? Absolutely. But see, that's on them. You know, but man, it is so valuable to have critical relationships in your life. I can say this to anybody. And I haven't met none of y'all. And I'm not going to call everybody by name, but there's particular people on this line that I feel like that if I was going through something, that I could call and they're strong enough to hold what it is that I tell them. I just feel this because I've discerned who certain people are. And you have to have that discernment. And sometimes you're going to get it wrong, but guess what? You will get over it. It will be okay. If the world finds something out about me, hey, have at it.
Good deal.
But man, relationships, God puts things in people for us. You better know it. There's things in each one of us for somebody else.
Amen.
Amen. Good deal. And I was just coming to you, Annie. What's on your heart?
I think Raheem is so wonderful. That was a good testimony, Frank.
Lord, come on, man.
Raheem was over there blushing. I can see him when in Mississippi blushing. I can see you. But anyway, you know, I've been hungry many times. I've been about to be evicted out of my house before. So many different things I've been through in my life, and I would have loved to have had a person to just call and share things with. But me knowing the circle that I have, I just kept my mouth closed and continue to struggle. It's a good thing to be able to go to people when you are down. It's a good thing to have a person you can run to.
Yes, it is.
That is important. That is important. I'm telling you. I mean, that's amazing. And we know Raheem is a wonderful person anyway, because he put it with us every morning. But you know, that's a good thing to have. So that's what I call a friend. And if you got a friend like that, then you're blessed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we all need that person. And that's why I say it's a sad place, man, where some people can say that they don't have that individual. Bishop, what's on your heart, Bishop? I see you over there.
Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you, that is so wonderful of the story. I can't. Frank, thanks for exposing Raheem as the person he is, because we already know it. But I got to do this. And every time I compliment and say something about Leonard, Raheem goes,
"Who?
And I go, Frank, in your case, Raheem.
Hey, man, look here, man. Y'all my family, man. Y'all know that. Y'all my family. Whatever I could do, man. Anytime I can do it, it's a done deal. It's a done deal, man. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh man, I was listening to the story. I'm so blessed. You never know how blessed you are until you get outside of your village.
Yes. Come on.
And I tell people all the time, like my mother used to say, life is what it is. It's how you look at it. And so when I meet people with issues and things like that, and I used to think, boy, how boring my life has been. When all the time the boring was the blessing. Because when there were so many opportunities to just do terrible things, just terrible, the Holy Ghost always reminded me who I was.
Come on.
And I did not start to really realize that until maybe it's been recent. When I say recent, I mean the past 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you begin to understand, and it caught me off guard because a friend of mine much older than me was like a person that which made me get out and about when I was much younger. Was a preacher and everything, and blah blah blah. Now he's gotten older, and he called me and he said, "Prophesy into my life." And I asked him why, and he says, "Because ever since you have been a child, there's been something about you and this, that, and the other that has been different. And the things that we have shared since he has gone through life, and things have changed for him so much. And now he's looking back." And I told him, I said, "Well, what is your will? Does that match God's will? Then you need to get closer to God's will. It's not about a prophecy into your life. It is about what you are willing to do to change it." You know, Annie sounds like the sweetest person in the world to me.
Mm-hmm.
But when she talks, she refers to a circle.
You talking about Annie?
Yes. She always refers to a circle of people that wasn't so kind to her.
Yes.
So my mind would automatically, we got to break this circle up. We can't be fooling with these type of people, you know, because that's not normal for me. That's not natural for me, because I have such a reaction to negativity around me that I did not understand that some people are just preyed upon by other individuals, and they may or may not know who they are enough to say, "Hey, I don't need you. I don't need this." It got to the point where I walk around right now, and I remember as a child, what a friend I had in Jesus. And all the little kids at the school getting on my nerves or what have you, look, what a friend I have in Jesus. When everybody, man, let's go out and do this and that. What a friend I have in Jesus. And I would rather be sitting here alone with Jesus than to be out there in the street fooling with these type of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because people were just dying. People were just dying. We were burying friends every week. I mean, it was horrible. But you know what? I don't care what the books say. I'm not going to be a part of that mess. I can't be a part of that mess. I don't try to be in that type of, and it didn't sit right with me, you know? So you know, I tell people, because you have to practice, and if you got to be comfortable with being alone, because my godfather used to say the hardest thing in life and the most loneliest place in life is being a good man. You'll find out you may not have a friend because it's hard to be a good man.
Come on. Yes,
and so you have to realize you're not going to be popular, and everybody in your house ain't going to like you sometimes. So do what thus saith the Lord, and you will be fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Good deal. Donald Toussaint, talk to me, brother. Where we at right now?
we on page Leonard.
Leonard? You talking about Leonard?
Yeah. Look, man. One thing about having a friend in Jesus, he puts the right people at the right place.
Yes,
at the right... We're not in trouble. I know we're talking about distrust of people, but we're in a good place because that's what he does. We can't confide in everybody, but there are some people that you can talk to. Let me say this. Let me get see, Raheem knows some things about me that my kinfolk don't know, and I'm not telling them. You know what I'm saying? How that work out? Raheem, how long we been knowing each other? Maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
Less than a year or something like that. Now, how did that work out? You know, because it's not to the point where I can't reveal things that some say may be some part of my weaknesses. But there are some delicate moments in my life that I ain't gonna share with some folks that's right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But here you are 6 hours away, that some kind of way I feel like I can talk to you. But some things I can't bear all of this by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But what Leonard said is, I got a friend and his name is Jesus.
Come on.
So he introduces us
Mm-hmm.
to different people that helps us go through the valley and the shadows of death without fear. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Bishop, coming to you, brother. What's on your heart?
Well, speaking, I'm saying this is a great topic. Like Frank said, it's a great conversation. And Donald was speaking on the wise of that our friend is in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
And as we look at it, yes, it is, but we got to have somebody on the outside because we have to talk to somebody human, and they can be able to relate and give us comfort. And so, since Frank spoke so well of you, and Leonard spoke so eloquently, and everybody's comments are wonderful, I got to say the same thing. The time that you and I have connected, you have demonstrated yourself as a man of character, a man that's trustworthy, a man that's true. And I enjoy the fact that I'm able to call you a friend, and no matter what I'm going through, and I had something going on, and I talked to you about it, and I know that you never brought it up, whether on the radio or wherever. You just kept it within.
Yes.
And that allowed me to understand and know, hey man, this guy's somebody that I can talk to, somebody that I can really lean on and depend on. So I'm gonna give you your flowers, brother, because our connection was so weird that I can't explain it, and I don't think you can either.
Mm-hmm.
But this is where God placed us. But we want people to understand that, there are people that you can talk to, yes, but you want to be careful about, exposing or revealing things. So some of those same people that you think you can trust are not the ones you really need to trust in everything. And so, we just got to look at the thing and be careful. I think Frank said something along the line that you ought to be able to feel the spirit of people.
Yes.
And sometimes you may get it wrong, but don't give up the faith. Don't give up the confidence of thinking that everybody is the same way, because everybody is not.
Absolutely.
Everybody's not out trying to hurt you or rend you. But at the end of the day, we have to move forward. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't lean to your own understanding, you'll make sure you connect with the right people. Because everybody smiling in your face ain't funny.
Come on. That's right.
And so therefore, just be careful about that. Pray about it. Think about it. And if you want to try them out, just with something small and see how far it goes, then I can't tell him or her nothing.
Yeah.
So then another great topic, my brother. Appreciate it.
To God be the glory, brother. To God be the glory. Frank, what's on your heart, brother?
Before I move on,
yes,
I gotta say something about Leonard.
Leonard? Not Leonard. You mean Leonard right there? Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. Bishop?
Hello?
Yeah, Bishop. Did we lose you, Bishop?
No, I'm here. I just went on. I just want to say something about Leonard. That's all I need to say. Leonard know. Leonard know.
Oh, okay. Okay, good deal. Frank, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Now see, that's what I'm talking about. And I think that we've all had the same experience with Raheem.
How do we get on?
But finding that strange. Raheem is a wonderful person, but there's more people out there like him. And what we have to do is we have to be careful in our selection of people. And then sometimes we have to look at even ourselves, because sometimes you can have a good friend and ruin that person. They could start out right, but then sometimes we even have to look at ourselves. So relationships are two-way. They go both ways. You have some people that all they are takers. And then I would do my wife an injustice if I didn't speak to this, because I've seen And things that I've seen are real to me. My wife is an educator. She's a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we all know, that the majority of teachers, they don't work year round. They have the summer off.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, my wife is busier in the summer than she could ever be during the school year. Either going to rescue a student or on the phone with students, or she gets letters where these kids are in such distress that to take away some of the pain, they're literally cutting themselves.
Mm.
They're in so much pain, they're taking a razor blade and they're cutting themselves. And I've watched my wife walk with these students to get them out of these places. So, man, we have to be so careful because there are so many tremendous people out there. But the thing about it is, we always, as a society, we highlight negative things. And then that becomes our reality. But I could, and just because I don't want to leave anybody out, I gave the testimony about Raheem, but I could give that same testimony about many people that are on this line.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So what does Scripture tells us? What does it tells us to think on? It says, think of these things that are of good rapport. So that's it. That's all.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Leonard. I was going to go to Donald, but Donald done skipped out on me. There you go. Hold on for a minute. Donald, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. But yeah, okay, I was trying to see it. That's why I blanked out on you, because y'all gonna say, what is he doing?
Yeah, man. Hey, look at. We have one of the moments, bro. We have one of the moments. All right, Donald, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
No, Frank said it earlier. We're in a good place when you find out. Okay, we saying everybody has said, we can't confide in people, and then we thought we was in trouble, but we're not in trouble. It's kind of like I'm not gonna even try to call his name, but there was one certain prophet that felt like he was all by himself running from Jezebel. And the Lord says, I got some that you don't even know about that have been set aside. Let me just say it like this, for a time like this. And in our lives, when you think you all alone, there'll be somebody like, and I don't even know, but Frank mentioned it, like his wife. There's some children that are going through to the point that, they cutting themselves. And so remember the guy that was in the tombs cutting himself? What happened to those that were supposed to be builders? And they must have had a Sadducee or Pharisee moment, because he didn't want to deal with society. So he figured it's better for me to live among tombs.
Mm.
And we got so many people in society that they'd rather live in the graveyard than next door to some of the people that, I don't want to say church folks. I don't want to say that. But somebody might say that. But nothing's wrong with the church. There's just a misconception of what the church really is, and the shield we have put over our faces like we got it all together is not true. We all got some issues that we can share with certain people that will help us continue to press and move forward, not fall back behind. But we don't have no business having people that feel like they need to hurt themselves because they can't be healed by nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But let it be known that there are some people, and I'm saying it right here too. I believe, and I've met Bishop Leonard, and others that I feel like I can say, okay, come here, let me tell you something, and I'll still be all right. So there are those that may be looked down on by others, but they can be counted on by God.
Come on. That's good. That's
so
good.
Check that.
What you say? Check them apples.
Yeah.
Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh man, I was just listening to what Donald was talking about, and I would hope that people that are listening would understand how important it is to be able to listen to people. Because this is what I used to do the majority of my day. And it was just horrible things that people had to share to get help with. And I used to always tell people, and I made a joke about it before, I never wanted to be on the end of the phone. I'm not the first guy. You have to call and talk to another person to talk about the problem first. And then when you move on, we'll get to a plan of action. And that's usually where I come in at. But when people are hurting, we must be very cognizant that, one, we must help them heal.
Yes.
And so we have to be sincere about it.
Let me ask you a question, Leonard. How, if a person you're talking to somebody and they're hurting, how do you recognize their pain? Because a lot of times people just won't tell you. They won't come out and just tell you that they're hurting. You have to listen. You have to and just like you said, man, it's so powerful that you said that. You have to listen and hear what it is that they're saying without them saying it.
Yes. And see, and that's the thing about it, is people will talk to you enough to where it brings itself to the forefront. You know, if you can talk about it and you know about it, and blah, blah, we should have already taken care of it there, because you know too much about it. You know too much about it to still own it this way. So a lot of people may not realize that's why you got what they really need counseling. Like I've had a therapist for at least 15 years, the same therapist. And I always check in to my therapist to make sure the balance is there, because that's part of my issue. It's balance. So and if ever I feel like I'm off balance, I immediately go into trying to rescue that. You know what I'm saying? With myself.
That's good.
So I always, and sometimes, I may have to say, you know what? I'm gonna let them. This is a Frank issue. Frank would be great. Raheem would be great. Man, I know Donald will hit this out. Bishop got the answer for this right here. Bishop will help you. One of my biggest talents is being able to get you to somebody who can help you.
Yeah, recognizing.
So a lot of times I'm a referral, or I refer you to someone who can assist you. And like, say for instance, I love Miss Cassandra because she's the epitome of what activists do.
Exactly.
And it includes that calling that she feels that God has placed on her life to do that. These people are so important to our process, because like she'll go get you wherever you at.
Yeah.
She don't care what you've been doing. She don't care if you're laying in the street. And so I surround myself around people like that. I'm not looking for people that's always talking behind your back or that got reputations of doing such. I don't want to be around you, because we're going to have a problem. That's one of those issues too. There's going to be a problem. So, I surround myself with people going, and Anna posted the other day, you got to surround yourself with people going in the same direction.
Absolutely. And a very weird picture came to my mind while you was talking there, Leonard. And it's the strangest thing I ever heard. I was visioning in my life, and y'all gonna laugh at me. Y'all might think I'm crazy. Y'all might think I'm crazy when I tell you that, but you got certain individuals, man, that will go get a person, even if they're standing in the middle of I-85 in rush hour. They'll figure out a way to get to the middle of the interstate and get those people and move them to safety.
Right. And that's why we love first responders.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for my folks that's in California, either on 10 or 15, y'all know what I'm talking about, during rush hour. LA, y'all know what I'm talking about. Somebody would be in the middle of the road, in the middle, in the medium, in the middle, and the right person would find a way to go there and get that person and move them to safety, so they don't have to be destroyed by the passing by vehicles. Bishop, what's on your heart, brother? Bishop, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep.
Hey, you know what? You said a mouthful, and I'm talking about Leonard. He said a mouthful, not you.
I ain't said nothing. I ain't said nothing. I ain't said nothing. Go ahead. You can tell me I ain't said nothing. Go ahead, brother. It's all right.
No, man. Leonard said a mouthful. That's why I call him my E.F. Hutton on this station, because when he speaks, I think we ought to listen. And I'm not just him. Everyone says some great things. Frank says some great things. And but as we move forward in life, we just have to sometimes get out of ourselves. Don't get on a pity party or go to a pity party, because the only one gonna be there is you.
Yes, absolutely.
You find strength within and move forward. But sometimes the weight gets so heavy with what we're going through, and we just hold it in. And we hurt ourselves. And as Donald said, but you want to go talk to the pastor, and pastor made a whole sermon out of you. So now I don't even want to go to church. I can't tell the preacher nothing. Then what can I do? Who can I talk to? You got to be able to connect with someone that can keep the utmost secret of what you're dealing with, what you're going through, and then not look at the fear of being able to share your situation, but always be careful. We all need help.
Yes.
I'll share this and I'm going to be quiet. A guy, I exposed some things about myself, even on this station. And a guy reached out to me, and he went through the same thing. He wanted to know how to handle it. And I said, well, let's just sit down and talk. Let's meet, sit down and talk. And I'll see what I can do to give you some encouragement to move on. But one thing I do, I don't want you to lay in that situation, because all you're going to do is continue to drown in it. Open up, believe, and you can't share it with everyone. But I need you to be able, at a point that you're able to move on, and I'm going to help you move to the next level.
There you go.
I believe I can refer Frank and Leonard and Donald and some of these ladies that make comments, of course, refer them to you, because this is what we're about doing. We're about helping one another and trying to get us to the place that we can grow, because problems can keep us stagnant, and we can't grow and we can't move forward because we're holding on to what is, that sometimes ain't worth holding on to.
Leonard, go ahead and say it. What is it worth? What's it worth, Leonard?
5 ain't worth 5 cents worth of dog meat.
There you go. Frank, what's on your heart? Go ahead, Donna. I see you over there. Go ahead, Donna. See it.
It's dead dog meat.
Dead dog meat. Bone in.
Exactly.
I can't remember.
Frank, what's on your heart, brother?
You know what? And this has happened quite a few times in our small circle, where you see a distress signal. You see that flare go up. You can just hear it in somebody's voice, so you can, notice something different, and you know that they're off. Now, a lot of times, we will want to, reach out to that person. But sometimes you have to be wise enough to know that you're not the person to reach out to them. There's been many a times that I've called Raheem and said, "Hey man, did you hear that?" He was like, "Yep." And I'll say, "Hey, call such and such," and had him check on that person. Because I know that this other person has a relationship. And that doesn't say anything about your ability to communicate or to walk with that person, but the relationship just might not be there.
Yeah.
The trust just might not be there. And you may push that person further into a hole by you trying to get a notch on your little Christian belt. And so now I'm gonna handle this. No, be wise enough to understand. You know, that's somebody that Bishop has a relationship, or Leonard has a relationship. You know, or that's a young lady. You know, let's reach out to Cassandra and have her begin that walk with that person. You know, but you and I love something that Leonard said. Is he talked about balance, because there's two things that we struggle with. One is balance. The other one is things that are fair. Life does not respond to fair. It responds to balance. You got to have balance.
Exactly.
So we can wait forever for things to be fair.
Good deal. Good deal. Toussaint, talk to me, brother.
I think what Frank said, you know, we take that scripture that says, "Ye which are spiritual, restore such a one," and sometimes we're so spiritual we get in the way. Let me tell you what I mean. We have some people that think they got to be in on everything. You know, time something happened in somebody's life, they feel like they're the one, because they're so spiritual, to be the one to restore. But you know, there's you're not the only one. There's a bunch of people in the household of faith. So you always can refer them to somebody. For instance, when women come to the altar, I'm not rushing over there at all, period. I will either, or it's suggested that we encourage another woman,
yes,
to go and be in prayer with that woman, because they can relate to each other. What in the world? I'm going want to lay hands on somebody and they going through breast cancer. What I know about that? You know what I'm saying? If they, you know what I mean, out of miscarriage. If they're going through something simple as menopause, what in the world I'm going? Oh, I'm gonna go pray for them. All right, you boo-boo the fool. That's what you are. Man, we can't handle everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes you know, and Frank said it, we hear it right here, and we've gone through situations, we be in the middle of a conversation, and all of a sudden somebody say, "It's time to pray right now."
Yes.
And you don't just say, "Okay, I'm gonna pray," because you know, this is my station and I'm gonna do the praying around here. I almost said something, but I ain't gonna say that.
I'm wondering what were you about to say, brother? I'm wondering what were you about to say, because
you gotta let some things go.
Okay. I thought I was about hey. I thought I had to wake up the corner. Okay. I thought I had to wake up the corner over there for a second. Okay. I feel better now. I feel better. Bishop, talk to me, brother.
Man, I'm gonna tell you. You know, I love you, Raheem. You know what I always tell you.
Yes, sir.
You know how to stir people up. You know, you come up with topics, God, I believe God gives them to you.
Yes, sir.
But
yes, sir.
It stirs us up to make us want to be better, do better, and help others. And one of the things I love about being on this show, getting up each morning to chime in on the conversations, because I'm learning something as well. I think part of the problem on this Christian walk, and we we feel ourselves, oh man, I got it. But sometimes you really don't.
Yeah, sometimes you don't.
You deceive yourself. So when I hear men like Frank speak and he talking about the power of God, and when I hear Donald, who also speaks very highly of the Lord, and you know, everyone, I don't want to get to calling the names, but you know, I get stuck on calling the name of Leonard. I gotta get away from that because I don't want nobody to feel like I only like Leonard. I like everybody. I love everybody.
Yeah, we wondered about you, boy. Look at him. We wondered about you, man. We wondered about you now. Go.
Hey, it is what it is.
There you go.
End of the day, the level of respect,
yes, sir,
that we find ourselves having towards each other is so strong. But the conversation and topics are things we really need to talk about.
Absolutely. Bishop, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, and this is piggybacking off of what you said a few minutes ago. Our topic today is are we strong enough to show our weaknesses? But I know a lot of time women do this all the time. They quick to compliment each other. Girl, them some nice shoes. Girl, that's a nice. I like that blouse or blouse. Girl, your hair look real good. Why is it that we as men can't find ourselves in a situation? See a brother with some good shoes, you know, a lot of times, you know, we won't say anything. We'll see the shoes. Oh man, we'll notice the nice shoes, but we won't compliment each other as we should. What do you think that's all about?
Y'all should, Raheem. I look, I don't know where you been or who you be around. Maybe it's something about being from where we from. Because Frank will let you know. You're gonna give it to him. You're gonna give it to a guy clean. That's all you got to. When you see him, let him know. Man, killing them shoes, bro. Them kicks, dude, where you get that hat? You know, I mean, I'm not sure what that may be for you, but we've always complimented one another this way.
Okay. Well,
you know, like from the deep, you know, and when I put them gators on, you know, somebody go, boy, the gators is nice.
Okay. See, but down maybe it's a down south type thing because a lot of times we don't do that. We don't do that. You know what I mean? Oh, there go Donald. There go Donald.
Give it to you. Right. We give it to you.
I'm gonna tell you why, right quick, Raheem. Men have this phobia. I don't want nobody to think I'm sweet or gay. So therefore, we a lot of times won't compliment what somebody has on. In our head and our mind, we will. But to let it come out of our mouth, we don't want to be judged. Now, they don't. Because I'm most definitely, if you looking good and smelling good and you dressed to the nine, I'm gonna tell you, bro, you sharp. And then if you hear me say this, I may say it to Frank, I may say it to Donald. I probably won't say it to Leonard. I'm gonna tell you why. If you dress to the nine, you sharp as a tack. They say, man, you know where I'm from, man. We'll say, give them to me.
Yeah.
You know, give me them shoes. Give me that.
Yeah.
but I'm afraid if I walk up on Leonard and say, man, you dress to the nine, give it up. Leonard said, no, you give it up.
Lord, boy, I tell you.
Hey,
Dog.
Look at what you wear. About size 10. I'm gonna need them. Right.
Now, see, we don't went from being good, nice, wholesome Christian folks to gangsters. What just happened, Donald? What just happened? We went to being gangsters. Yo, give me that.
That's exactly what we talk about. See, because people come at you like, oh, you thought I was weak. Oh. Because I didn't tell you. Now you think I'm weak. So now you want my shoes.
Exactly.
And again, that ain't gonna work out. This is for the turn for the worse, right here.
Boy, we took a big left turn that time, brother. We went from being nice. It was so nice. The conversation was so nice and so light. And now we done went to the gangster link. Now we're doing the gangster link.
Give me them shoes.
Exactly.
You want what?
Give me the feather out that cap. Give me the feather out that hat, man. I need.
Hey, Frank wears size 12. I wear size 10. They so sharp. Frank, give me them shoes.
Exactly.
Hey, look, Raheem. I'm gonna have to try to get ready for this storm here, so I'm gonna bail out.
Okay.
Got to get situated.
Are we doing something at 11, or you want to hold off?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to y'all, man. It don't make me no difference. I ain't scared of that.
Okay, well, tell everybody what you got going on at 11 o'clock today.
Oh, we're gonna jump in on To Your Destiny. We're gonna do it at 11 y'all time, right?
Yes.
10 hour time. So I got to get situated, and we're gonna talk about Red Sea mentality. And if y'all can help us out, man, y'all call in and let's talk about how our continents change when we standing before the Red Sea.
And so Don, what he said to you is, I know he don't need my help, but he's doing a special broadcast today. We weren't able to do it yesterday, so we're gonna do a special broadcast today from 11 until 12 Eastern Standard Time. So if any one of you all are available, and everybody that's listening, make sure you tune in To Your Destiny today, a special broadcast today from 11 to 12. So again, if you all are available, if you can, we definitely would love to have your input on that particular broadcast as well. Toussaint.
I'm out, man.
Yo.
We'll see you later.
All right, talk to you in a little bit, man.
Okay, good enough.
Frank, what's on your heart?
Man, I love the turn that this took. And
you like
all
the gangster?
it is your.
You like the gangster, huh? You like the gangster lean, huh? You like the gangster lean. Go ahead, brother. Go on, say it.
No, the turn that it took, and it's basically what you focus on, and I believe that it's gone full circle, because the one thing that we were talking about earlier is that if you focus on what people say is a weakness, you'll probably be weak. Play sports all my life, was never the biggest guy, was never the strongest guy. But believe it or not, when I was playing football, man, you stick me real good, I got excited. I got excited, man. I mean, you just, because now this is about to be a day here, because you just woke me up. You just woke me up. We go in the gym and you putting up 225 with ease, dude. You just challenge me, and I love stuff like that. I love to be challenged. I don't want things to be easy. That stuff is boring. So by the time you tell me I can't do something or I'm weak, oh man, you don't know what you just did. You challenge me. And that's what it does to most people that are ever going to be great. You look at anybody who's ever been great. Somebody told them that they couldn't do it. So, yeah, good conversation, man.
Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Leonard say, man, give me them shoes.
I was thinking about, weaknesses and things of that nature. And I had two flashbacks. And one was with my dad, who died when I was very young. And and he was young. Yeah. So he was 41. And I remember, for some reason, I was terrified of heights, specifically over water. And now my dad was if you all know me, I ain't but 5'6". My dad was about the same size, but a little smaller than me. I was 13 years old, and this man carried me on his back across railroad trusses across the river. Because when we would go fishing, he wouldn't want to leave me on one side while he go on the other side. But he knew I was terrified to walk across that trestle. So this man with the bucks and with the buckets and the poles, I would get on his back, and he was little, and he would walk across the trestle real slow. And he would talk to me about, you put your foot here, you can't be scared, you're not gonna fall through that hole. Fast forward to basic training, military. And you all know, if you've been in the military, you got a thing called a confidence course. And it's not so much you strong and big to get through it. Because that don't matter. It's your confidence in it.
Mm-hmm.
I crawled all the way up that pole and got up there and looked at that thing and couldn't go across. And here come the drill sergeant, senior drill sergeant at that. He climbed up that pole and he stood right there. And this man who had hollered and screamed and looked like a walking skull coming at you became the nicest, most focused person in the world. Because at that point, it was just about getting his soldier across that line.
Wow.
And that man sat right there and whispered and talked to me and said, I don't know what you're scared of. All you got to do is do it. Whatever's at the bottom, trust me. I've seen plenty of people fall, and I've seen people go across. I saved every last one. And it took me forever, but in front of everybody, I'm at the top. And you know what? It took everything in me to say, trust him. And I walked across it, and you get this feeling as if that fear is gone. So if I was to tell somebody, if you want to get rid of the fear, and that's one thing people use to get rid of the fear by engaging it head. Stop running from it. Stop trying to hit it head on. Because a lot of times, most of it is in your head.
Exactly.
Even if I were to fall, guess what? I'll get right back up and do it again.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what it teaches you. And even when you get past that stage, if you want to be a sergeant, then you got to go to PLDC, more leadership development, and things of that nature. So that's what we have to be, is being willing and trusting enough to lead people across terrible times. And not so much as push and drag, but just walk with him sometimes. But always be moving forward.
Exactly. I'm going to do something a little different today, y'all. I'm going to play this song here. And we're going to talk about this song when it goes off. What does it mean? And it's an old school song. So don't think y'all going to hear no Frankie Beverly or Ty, none of that.
Let me put this on mute before I start snoring. Hold on.
This is old school. Y'all listen to this song for me.
Far away stood an old rugged cross, the land of suffering and shame.
It's one of my favorites.
But I love that old cross where the deep is hand passed for a word of no sinner was slain. So I'll cherish the old cross till my trouble is at last I'll lay down. I will cling to the rugged cross, and exchange it someday for a ride.
Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Old.
Man, I knew it immediately when it started playing what it was. because those are the things, like you say, I love the new song.
Mm-hmm.
But those songs of, you know, when you get to a certain place, you think about standing on the promise of God. You think about what you've been taught, that blessed assurance.
Mm-hmm.
And then old rugged cross. And remember, it started playing. I knew what it was. And, you know, I think that type of discipline that helps you and help mold and shape you. You know, like I remember one of the things in church, my bishop, the great Bishop William L. Shields, he teaches us one thing. You know, I love his messages about anyhow, but, and the joy of the Lord. Anyhow, whatever's happening or whatever did happen, praise God, anyhow,
Exactly.
anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And also it was, but no matter what happened, and then when he's reading the scripture and using those texts that he uses for these particular sermons, but God.
Yes.
Regardless of what has happened, what you're doing or what you're going through, but God can change it if he did.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you have all these things and all these things happening, there's problem after problem after problem. Take that, bring it to the altar, leave it there, and go pretend to be Jesus. Go do and help and assist people wherever they are with whatever's going on. I know you ain't got this and you don't have that, but go help somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sit there and dwell on your problem. Put yours to the side and go help somebody else. And guarantee you, if you love the Lord and you trust Him, and by the time you get back, it's not there no more because it's gone.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Sounds simple. Sounds very simple and sometimes maybe strange.
Yes.
Try it in practice. I'm not going to tell you nothing. Put it into practice.
Come on. Good deal. We got another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Cassandra calling from Atlanta.
Hey, young lady, how you doing?
Miss
Good morning.
Green.
Leonard was just talking. Leonard was just talking about you. Leonard was just talking about how much he loved.
Oh,
you.
really?
Yeah. He said how much he loved and respect you. I gave an example of a person that's in need in the center of I-85 during rush hour. He said that you are the very person that will go out there and get that person out of harm's way and take them where they need to go. She said he said you are. He said you are the epitome of going out there and helping people and having the love for people. So he was kind of talking good about you. I think.
Thank you.
I think he wants you to send a check because he was talking so good. I think he wants.
Send me your P.O. box. Don't send me your address. Send me your P.O. box. Send me your P.O. box.
Now,
thank you. That
there you go. And
I want to say this. When I share, because I do what I do because that's what I've been conditioned, commissioned, and chosen to do, right? When I share what I'm doing, it's never to bring light to me.
Exactly.
It's always in hope that it will encourage somebody else to do the same types of stuff.
Absolutely.
And I say that all the time because people think when you testify about what God has done, that you say, "Oh, me, I don't even want to be in the picture, actually." But if God uses me and I'm trying to share that so that you would say, "Hey, you know what? Maybe I can stop and help somebody. Maybe I can." And I want to give this and just from what happened last night to me. And I wasn't going to call in this morning. And then I looked at the page a second ago and I was standing in the kitchen and I was saying to myself, why is it that when women especially show themselves to be strong, it's not intimidating, but some men have a problem with it. I was standing in the kitchen saying that, preparing my breakfast, and I look on the page and I saw I was like, what? God, what is this? So, I mean, it was crazy. So I'm having this epiphany. What happened? Why but anyway, I said that to say this. Yesterday, I'm mentoring some young that are coming out of homelessness, right? And there was a young woman that today she was being put out of where she was living. And so I was in overdrive. I was upset. I was hurt. I was crying. and I'm already in physical pain from my surgery, but I was there to mentor them yesterday. So I spent most of my day making calls, trying to reach out to people to make sure that this child and her son was not on the street today. So God just, when I tell y'all, God moved so mightily for this baby. Not only did one of the people that I contacted, resources that I contacted, found a place for her to go, him and his wife, but they also paid her first month rent, and they're picking her up today to move her stuff to the new place. And I'm saying that to say, in my weakness, I physically, I am weak right now. I made a determination in my heart that that baby was not going to be on the street today. And that's all I'm saying. We got to go beyond ourselves. And Leonard said it so beautifully. What I caught it, what you said, the last part. We got to step outside ourselves and do what we can to be a blessing to somebody. So I just wanted to say that, I love you guys. It's amazing. The conversation was exactly, I'm standing in the kitchen talking about weakness, and I look on the page and you guys are talking about weakness. That
Praise
was
God.
a God
Praise God.
moment for me.
Absolutely. To God be the glory. And now we just played a song, "Old Rugged Cross" by Mahalia.
Old Rugged Cross, yeah, absolutely.
Now, what you know about that, Cassandra? What you know about Old Rugged
Man,
Cross?
man, I'm 61. That was a Mahalia Jackson was a staple when I was a kid. You had to have Mahalia Jackson playing in the house.
Exactly, and that song, man. What is that particular song? What is that particular song, Cassandra? Does it mean anything to you?
Man, it means everything to me. Everything. We need to take it to that old rugged cross, because that's what our whole existence should rely on. That old rugged cross. Every time we think about what we're going through, I think about what happened at that rugged cross. What happened? The ultimate price was paid for me.
Yes.
That's what it means to me. So it's everything. Everything to me.
Cassandra, I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna go to Rico, because we got Rico with us on the video side as well. But how loving was it? The last words that was uttered was, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." The last words that was uttered was that. How loving was that?
Man, listen, if somebody is persecuting you, I mean, to the point of death, and you have the fortitude within yourself, your spiritual being is in such a place that you say, "Forgive them." What? Man, if that is not agape, think about that thing, man. Because some of us may have been in places where we were being attacked or something happened, or you were being raped or whatever, and you have the fortitude to say, "God, forgive him for what he's doing." Man, that boy, everything, once again, it's everything.
Yes. Rico, what do you say to that, man? The last words that was uttered was, "Forgive them, Father." It's like he's praying for the very people that's trying to bring him his demise. And he said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." They don't know. How loving is that?
Yeah, that's very loving. You know, that goes to show you how special he was and is. I mean, Cassandra hit it on the head just a second ago. You know, she hint around on it. Imagine being that person and having to be the bigger person and say, "You know what? I forgive them for violating me." You know, that's pretty hard for a person in the flesh to do, especially when they deal with the emotions. You know, us human beings, we're gonna deal with our emotions and our feelings. That's automatically something that we can't deny. So to put your selfish feelings to the side, even though you may have been violated or wrong, you know, it takes a very special person to say, you know, forgive them. Because most of the time when people are doing wrong to you, they're bullying you or raping you or whatever it is that they're doing is so negative, they don't know any better. They're tainted. They're flawed. They just been infiltrated with, you know, evil sometimes. Some of them are just dysfunctional. They aren't evil. They just were programmed wrong, but they don't know no better. So, I mean, you know, but honestly, that lets me know how special he was, because I fight with that to this day, trying to forgive people for stuff that they did 30 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Frank, what's on your heart, man? The last words uttered. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. How loving is that, Frank?
Every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord is powerful. Every word. And the one thing that is difficult for us is to realize that everything was a lesson. It wasn't. God does everything, and there's purpose attached to it. Everything, because He didn't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
God never did anything out of necessity or
bless you.
Oh well, I got to do this to get out of this jam. No, that's He truly is God. He really is God. He's absolutely God, 100%. So everything that He did came from a place of love. Everything, but He did everything. Scripture reflects the things that God wanted us to remember.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave us those examples for a reason, for us to take on those things in our lives, for us. And the crazy thing about it, man, God is so awesome. Forgiveness does not benefit the person that you're forgiving the most. It benefits you. It sets you free.
Mm-hmm.
So many people right now are dying of bitterness and hatred because they won't forgive. They're going down rabbit trail because they won't forgive. One of the most difficult things for the black man to escape is the lies of our past. Oh, you got to be this way. You got to be hard. You can't cry. You can't show emotion. You should have more than one woman. All of those lies. So, man, not only it is powerful, everything that He did, everything that He did. But understand, He didn't do it like we go to the cinema to watch a movie. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do that to entertain us, or for us just to say, "Whoa, he a bad boy." No, He did that. I tell people all the time, I don't read Scripture to teach. I read Scripture to live.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Bishop, what's on your heart, Bishop? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
That's what you have to do. Mm-hmm. That's very powerful. And that was Christ. And oftentimes Frank will say something that puts us back in the mindset, what would Christ do?
Mm-hmm.
If Christ did, and we say we're supposed to be His children or His followers, we're supposed to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, for me, and listening to it, man, it took me way back, because I remember as a child and my mom would listen to that song, and I was trying to understand the interpretation of it or the meaning. And then it finally dawned on me, that old rugged cross.
Mm-hmm.
Christ went to the cross that you and I may live. And then not only going to the cross, demonstrate or offer Himself as a sacrifice, He demonstrated nothing but pure, unadulterated love.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, we sit back and we listen to music or listen to songs, and we don't pay much attention to the lyrics as they relate to what we're dealing with and what we're going through. And so I just have to thank you so much for taking me down memory lane, and also allowing me to look back and reflect on what He did for us and what we need to do for each other.
Absolutely.
And I just want to, I really do. I really want to compliment Frank, how his mindset is, his approach to a lot of things. And Frank brings us back around. Okay, now, all right, after all we went through and go through, let's think about the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I thank God so much for being on this show. Like I said, and I appreciate meeting these young men and women that bring enlightenment to the ears and open up the heart to be receptive. So Frank falls into that same category that Leonard falls into. And I want to give it to him.
Frank?
Yes, Frank.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, did he have to do it, Leonard? Did he have to do it? Say those words.
I can't answer that.
No. Say the words. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Did he have to say that prayer for us, for them that were doing it to him?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. How loving
I don't even begin to understand.
Yeah, come on, Leonard, come on. Mm-hmm.
There ain't nothing in the world can get me to sit down and I'm gonna tell you what it. No, no, because the striving in me is just that. It's the journey, the striving to even be that concerned.
Leonard says something.
You know, a lot of you forgive people, probably a lot. I'll forgive you, but I may never speak to you again.
Got you.
But if you want my forgiveness, for whatever reason it is for you, or you need it, I will give it to you. But do understand that changes very little between us.
Got you.
Because you are who you are. I don't hold it against you, but I just may not know. I don't want to be around you. The love that Christ has for what He does, that it's a mystery to me. It's a mystery to me, and the only thing that I can say is, as I live, I encounter things that are a lot in that nature, which makes me even more believe in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as it's exposed that way, or as the Spirit pours that out, I readily receive it. But with all the education in the world, I'll never be able to explain it. Not like that. Not like he would. You know, I know preachers and everything, you know, you go through this, that, and the other, and everyone does it. It's common in our churches, the clarion call, that some people call it, a call to worship, call to if you know, the calls they give at the end. For those who are not saved, for those who are saved but are looking for church homes and things like this, to meet people wherever they're at. And just because you said that, I remember the story of this young man who is forgiving the rapist of his child was in the news. I couldn't read it.
Got you.
You understand? I couldn't even read it because I can't even understand it. I can't. I want to, but I can't.
But see, and my thing is, I think it's a beautiful thing that you said you want to, and you struggle with getting there, but the want to, that's what the beauty is. Rico, let me ask you this question: What is more exciting to you? And we're talking about Rico right now. The journey to get there, or the arrival that once you make it there to whatever the destination is.
I'll say the journey to get there, because you have so many expectations and you don't know what to expect. It's just the excitement of the unknown that makes it, you know what I'm saying, all more ambitious and motivating for you to try to get to that point. Now, when you get there, it may be more than you imagine. It might not be nowhere near close. You know what I'm saying? It might not add up nowhere near. It might fall way short of what you expected, you know. So I think the journey to get there is more exciting, the experience. You know, you are able to tell the story of your trials and tribulations as you got to that point. You know, actually I had somebody ask me, said, the more they talk to me, like, you know what, you might need to write a story, write a book about your life. And I'm like, well, no, I ain't ready to write a book yet because my journey ain't finished. I got to get to some kind of achievement, some kind of turnaround, some kind of goal to be able to say, okay, well, this journey was all that it took for me to get to this point, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. But the journey is exciting. You know, the information that I'm coming up with to write this book is it's still exciting. The experience is something
what would you
serious.
say to that? What's more invigorating to you, the journey or the arrival?
For me, it's the journey, because I mean, Rico hit it right on the head. You don't know, once you get to that place, that goal or whatever goal you're trying to reach, is it going to be as fulfilling as you thought it would be, or is it going to fall short? And just consider this: there are people that spend their whole life striving to be wealthy, to have money. And when they get that money, it becomes for some of the most traumatic, damaging, painful times of their life. But their whole life, their whole journey was spent trying to reach that place of what they felt would make them happy, or make them content, or make them complete. So it's important to me, the journey, to pay attention to that journey, because that once you hit that goal, it may not be everything that you thought it would be.
Good deal. Bishop, what is your take on it? What's is more invigorating?
Repeat what you said.
What is better, the journey or the arrival to whatever the destination you're going to? What is better for you?
I think the arrival. I'm anticipating getting where I'm going, and a lot of things may happen as I'm traveling that way. But once I get there, then I've reached my goal or my destination. So the journey can sometimes not be all that good, bumpy road. But when I make it to my destination, then I feel like I've accomplished my task.
Okay, good deal. Donna, what do you say to that? What is better for you, the journey or the arrival?
You know what? It'd be good to arrive, but none of us have. I just had to call back in on this one, because the journey is where we gain our strength at. It's the learning experience where we learn to trust. See, you don't know how much you trust God, but He does. Does that make any sense?
It does.
God knows how much you trust Him, but you don't know. So sometimes we go through the process to learn how to trust the process.
Wow.
Because we don't. You think Job trusted? You think Job knew how much he really trusted God? I think he did at the end, but not at the beginning. Because he started saying some stuff. He started wishing that he was dead, that he never was born. Wish that that somebody would just to close the can I say it like this? He was just suffocated in the womb some kind of way, because he didn't know how much he trusted God. But when the enemy came, the Lord said, well, since you're going to and fro, what about Job? He said, oh no, you got a hedge around him. I said, but I tell you what, if you move it, I'll make him cuss you to your face. And Job had no idea how much faith he had in God. I know he said, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. But the process of God giving and taking came from messenger after messenger after messenger after messenger. And he never did really know till the end of the story.
Good deal. Leonard, what do you say? What's on your heart concerning this, man? What's more important, the journey or the arrival?
I'm a journey person. You know, it's great to have objectives, but life is a journey. And you never know what's at the end. You never know when it's going to end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you have to look at it that way. I love other teachings online, and how it's very respectful of that continuation of things. And you're not the end all of anything. You're just a part of it. And so as you go, you have to think about, everybody may not be experiencing the same thing, but I believe that there's a path that you can choose to go. And a lot of times that path could be the wrong or the right way. But I prefer, I hope that some people know where the right road is. As the word would say, it's very narrow.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And to get on that road is half the battle. To know that, you know what, man, that's wrong what I did. I happen to believe, and someone please correct me, not to dig into people too much, but when you were doing the things that you were doing that you considered unsaved or unrighteous, did you know in your heart that there was something wrong with what you were doing? Or did you actually believe you were right? Because I never have done anything that I did not know was wrong. I always knew it was wrong. That's why I had to repent for it. Because I always knew it was wrong. Had I never picked up a book, a Bible, or nothing, there was something in my heart that told me this is not the right thing to do. And I take that for granted that everyone has that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
They should.
So if anybody can shed light on that, please do so.
Absolutely.
I want to ask a question. On that, because I like what Leonard said right then. You it's one thing to know you were doing wrong and to keep doing it, or maybe you didn't know. But what is it when people choose to look at neither option and say, well, you know what, it's harmless. It was harmless fun. Sometimes it can be wrong, but it can be harmless fun. You should have maybe a sense of humor to accept this harmless fun that really and truly is wrong or negative, have a negative impact. So what is that mentality when people know it's wrong, but they go ahead and do it anyway because they say, oh, it's harmless. It's harmless fun.
Okay, Bishop. Bishop, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, want to answer that? Want to tackle that one?
Yeah, tackle it. Ain't no problem. If it's wrong, it's wrong. Harmless fun to you may be harmful to somebody else. You think about whatever you do before you do it, because whatever you do, behind every action will be a reaction. And we take children, we'll see them go out and they'll vandalize something. They'll break a neighbor's window. They was, I was throwing rocks, I was having fun. You may have not killed anybody, but you damaged their property. Now somebody got to be accountable. That man or woman have to replace that glass. It's gonna cost them money. They got to go through the process to find somebody to install it. But it was just harmless fun. If it's against anybody, hurting anybody, then I would think on this wise, don't do it.
Good
so
deal.
That's the only way I can explain that.
Okay, that's good.
Think, if we pay attention, that's it.
Good deal. Frank, are you there?
Yes, sir.
What is better for you, man? The journey or the arrival?
Well, and this is one of those questions where there's not a wrong answer. For me, the thing that's always kept me going.
Man, I can't hear you. I want to hear Frank so bad. Hold on.
Okay. Hold on, Frank. I think Leonard wants you to hold your thought for a second. He's gonna call back in here. So we're gonna get Cassandra to sing us a song while Cassandra. I think we just lost Cassandra. When I say something about singing, see how she do? She done hung up the doggone.
She hung up.
Yeah.
She hung up.
There you go. We got Leonard back. Go ahead, Frank. Leonard, I held his answer till you got back, Leonard.
Okay.
The thing that's always motivated me was conquering. I don't know what that says about me, but when something is put before me, and I don't know if that's where hope defers lives big in me, but I never want to get to the place where I feel like, I don't like feeling like I failed. So when you put something, and I'm not saying that someone that doesn't get somewhere failed, but the thing that I really enjoy, I really enjoy completing things. I like bringing things to a level of completion so I can get my next assignment.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that pushes me. I mean, when I was single, but I knew I wanted to be married and I possessed my wife, I enjoyed and still enjoy my marriage. So I'm enjoying, you know, I didn't arrive once I married her, but I married her and I wanted to possess her. I wanted everything about her. You know, in business, I want, you know, I set goals and I want to meet those goals. And then once I meet those goals, I don't stop right there. Then I set new goals. Okay, this is where we're at in 2020. This is where we're going to be in 2025. And I set those goals not only for myself, but for my family. And I want my kids to see me succeed. But I do want to speak to this about things that we do, that we put in the category of being harmless.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm going to use this word, and you really have to define this word correctly, or you'll be offended. Sometimes it's just because you're ignorant. Because there's things that I did that brought me joy. And I was ignorant to the place and to the point of I really didn't realize how much it was harming other people. But see, the challenge is once you know, if you continue to do it, then that's evil.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. It's 10:05, y'all. Time for us to get out here, man. This has been a great broadcast today. I definitely enjoyed it. Let me put Leonard on the spot for a minute. Leonard, what's going on at 3:00 today?
If you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, you can log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Go ahead, boy. You did that there. Frank, pray us out, brother.
You know, we find ourselves in this place of prayer every day, and it's a different person every day. And we touch a different topic every day. Today is one of those days where I'm feeling so thankful. And Lord, I pray that this doesn't come off as being selfish, but I want to thank you for every man and woman on this broadcast. And I'm going to limit it to the panel and the callers just for a specific purpose. I thank you for them. I thank you that after a period of time, that even if there's nothing else but in my heart, I can call them friends. I thank you for each and every relationship that you've developed over this time with DKM Radio. That if nothing else, that I can think about each and every one of them, and it will bring a smile to my face. I thank you for the ministry, Lord. I thank you for correction, Father. I thank you right now for their lives and their families and the examples that they are. Father, I thank you for DKM Radio, Lord. Father, I thank you that when there's been a time where somebody felt like they couldn't go on and they simply just tuned in and it allowed them to see another day. Lord, we are the people of one more chance, that by the time that you put somebody before us, maybe we can do something where they'll say they're going to give you one more chance. And that's all you needed. That's all that you needed to allow them to truly understand and see how great and wonderful that you are. So, Father, I thank you for my friend. And even if I haven't arrived there in their hearts, hallelujah, I thank you for where you put them in mind. So, Father, I am excited about tomorrow. I'm excited about the next broadcast, Father. I'm excited for each and everything that you do through us and through this broadcast. So, Father, let DKM Radio continue to glorify who you are. And, Father, we praise you with it. This is our offering each and every day. So, Father, let it continue to glorify you. Because if there's any praise, Father, it's all yours. We give it to you because only you are worthy. So we thank you, Lord, Father. We thank you for you using, Father, this broadcast to bump up us against each other, Father, to smooth off some of the sharp edges. We just thank you, Lord. And we ask all of these things, Lord, in the unmatchable, spotless, and blameless name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. We're about to get out of here. Everybody good? We're about to get out of here for today. It is now 10:09. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Let your light so shine. It is now 10:10. You're about to get up out of here, but before you go, I want you to do me one little simple little thing. I want you to go out there and love on somebody, because you just might find some love in return. Y'all have a great day. Don't forget, from 11 to 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have Donald's show coming up. And he has a great topic today. And make sure that you log in and tune in to his particular show. Y'all have a great day.